imagine all that money going to India? I wonder what they think when they get it. Now, it's a kickback scheme. You know, it's not like they get it and they kick it back to the people that send it, I would say, in many cases.
Is the United States funding elections in India? Did Washington send $21 million to boost voter turnout? That's what former US President Donald Trump claimed. But is it true? Let's get into it. Between 2001 and 2024, USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, has disbursed $2.9 billion to India. That's about $119 million per year. But the real question is, how much of this money was for elections? Trump says $21 million. The data says otherwise. Here is what really happened. After taking office for a second term, Trump dismantled USAID as part of his controversial cost-cutting agenda. Then the Department of Government Efficiency, yes, led by Elon Musk, released a list of past USAID grants. The list showed that $21 million was supposedly allocated to India for voter turnout. This revelation sparked outrage. Was the US interfering in Indian elections?
For improving public procurement in Serbia, $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India. Why are we caring about India turnout? We got enough problems. We want our own turnout, don't we? Can you imagine all that money going to India? I wonder what they think when they get it. Now, it's a kickback scheme. You know, it's not like they get it and they kick it back to the people that send it, I would say, in many cases. Many of these cases, anytime you have no idea what we're talking about, that means there's a kickback, because nobody has any idea what's going on there. $29 million to strengthen the political landscape in Bangladesh. Nobody knows what they mean by political landscape. What does that mean? $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. What the hell do I care about? We got a lot. We got enough problems. And all of this is terminated. We terminated this stuff, and we're on the track. And by the way, so many others I could read all night long, but so many were so terrible, and some were actually disgusting. And I know you're eating your dinner, so I didn't want to do that. But we're draining the swamp. And, you know, one of them was $100 million for condoms for Hamas. You heard about that. 50 and 50. It's 50 million, and then they decided they needed more. And $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? They took some internet ads for $2,000. This is a total breakthrough. $21 million for India elections.
Strong words, but let's go by the numbers, not by rhetoric. A deep dive into official records tells a different story. USAID disbursed $23.6 million for elections, not to India, but to Bangladesh. India, on the other hand, received less than $500,000 for elections between 2013 and 2018. That's right, the real number, just $484,158. So where did this money go? USAID channeled it through the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, or CEPPS. Their goal? Supporting democratic institutions worldwide. CEPPS received $500,000 in 2013 for India, but the final amount disbursed was slightly less, $484,158. No election-related funds were sent after 2018. The money was intended to promote democratic participation, legal frameworks, and political contests. Meanwhile, USAID's biggest spending in India wasn't on governance, let alone elections. 56% of the $2.9 billion went to health and population initiatives, around $1.6 billion governance, a mere 4.2%, and within that, elections got a fraction. The claim that India received $21 million for voter turnout turned out to be false. The real figure seems to be less than $500,000 over 5 years, ending in 2018. But why does this matter? The claim of US election interference is a sensitive topic, especially in India, where sovereignty is paramount. Any foreign funding related to political processes can be controversial. But as we have seen, the facts tell a different story. The bulk of USAID's money to India went into health programs, not political activities. Additionally, USAID grants often come with strict oversight and clear objectives. The money earmarked for governance was spent across various sectors, including civil society initiatives and democratic participation, with elections receiving only a negligible portion. Bureau Report, India Today Global.